Let's play Newborn Baby Bingo. Is your baby? Is a skeleton. Got isekai'd. Has committed genocide. Kidnaps innocent people from town. Kills teenagers. Then I'm sorry to inform you that's not your baby. That's Ain's. Alright, so for context of this video, I need to tell you guys something. I am a weeb. I'm sorry. You guys put your trust in me, you watch my content, and I betrayed you. I hope you guys can accept me for my degeneracy, and I apologize. Also, if you're watching this, you're probably a filthy weeb too, so it doesn't matter. Okay, but now on to the topic of the video. Overlord was kinda quirky, kinda hot garbage, and I hated it. And anyone who made it out to be this above all isekai that everyone should love. I mean, I would rewatch it to get my facts straight, but I can't bring myself to do it. I remember the most part of the story, and if you disagree with me, fine, but I'm tired of the overwhelming majority of opinions being positive with no counter-argument. Apart from my video, I recommend watching the other videos saying Overlord was bad, because this is my first time making a review, and I think you guys should watch the other ones too. For the sake of my own opinions, being the only ones I express, I haven't watched any other reviews, so I can't assure the quality of the others, but I'm sure they'll be better, being this being my first time. Anyways, let's get into this. By the way, major spoiler warning, I'm going to be complaining about the ending and everything, so if I see a single comment about complaining about spoilers, I will drown you in hard-boiled egg water. Okay, kinda unique isekai concept. Only other one I can think of that's similar is Demon Lord Retry, and that began coming out about 6 years later, so Overlord was officially original from what I know. It starts with loser no-life protagonist. Oh no, my favorite game that I spent years being #1 ranked on is shutting down. Gonna spend the last hour reminiscing. Then bam, clock hits 12 and he's in the video game. But he doesn't restart as a fresh character. No. He's in as his in-game character, Calcium Champion Ainz. From there on, he's freaked out for a matter of seconds, and that's all cool. Occasional thoughts about how we'll get home after episode 1, just like every other isekai, but nothing major. At the beginning, you would think Ainz is a cool guy. He saves everyone at that village I can't remember the name of, and he's so merciful, just trying to put up the evil villain who only helped you guys because there's something the bad guys have that I need. And that's gone. Ainz is a good person for a whole of like 2 episodes. Then there's a big fight with the big bad Slain Theocracy. And then Ainz of course wins because protagonist. And then they are never mentioned again. I literally Control F search Slain Theocracy on the wiki summary of every episode, and they are mentioned 1 or 2 more times between the 2 seasons. Then season 1 is just a bunch of filler. Season 2 comes along, and likable self-insertable Ainz decides it's time to become a bad guy. What's the best way to be a bad guy? Become Germany, and literally go slaughter a neighboring tribe. Ainz slaughters the neighbors, and completely abandons the nice guy image he put up for the early episodes. Sebas is the only good guy I liked in the show because he takes in that one girl off the street and brings her back to the base. Ainz kidnaps people for experimentation and slaughters a group of teens who come into his base unknowing that it was inhabited. One tries to escape so she can get back home and run away with her little sisters, but nope, she dies. Sisters get sold. Want to know who killed her? Our likable protagonist Ainz. The season ends with Ainz in disguise as a hero adventurer saving the country for I forget why, but it's stupid. The story has no direction. Ainz is the only person who's capable of doing anything, and the most interesting antagonists were abandoned after the first few episodes. I honestly feel that the author is trying to make us dislike Ainz, and that this is actually just a reverse fantasy story. Ainz is the antagonist, and the real protagonist will be the one to take down Ainz, and we're just having the story told from the evil perspective. Because there's no other reason I can think of for having such an unlikable MC besides that purpose. If that was the case, then I'd retake my statements, and I'd really give it more of a try, but for now, it's unlikable. Pretending this show is anything more than a power trip isekai fantasy that utilizes shock factor to entertain is a mistake. And if that's the reason you like it, then that's cool, but I never want to see Ainz on another top 5 isekai protagonist again.
If I see your name on another top 10 list, I'm gonna kill somebody. I better not hear your name compared to
Goku.
again, or I'm gonna kill somebody.
Ainz. Ainz is just so unlikable and the most unnecessarily villainous MC of all time. He has no logical reason for half the things he does besides the fact that they're bad. The only people who like Ainz are probably the same kids who think, man, I wish I was born back in medieval times. I'd totally be the leader of a bandit group and kill loads of people with no remorse. Like, who likes this? I honestly root for the other people against the MC. They have more humanity. The writer tries using the excuse, but he's a Lich King now, so he doesn't care about human. No, just no. He has the same mind, same soul as his human self. It was just inserted into Ainz's body. Never once has it hinted that the mind of Ainz is involved in any way in his thought process. He has no idea how to do magic at first, and has to figure out via what his character did in the video game and reenact those movements. And everything he thinks about is from the perspective of a player, not a character. Everything he remembers is from him at his computer, not Ainz. I'd like Ainz more if what he did made any sense at all, but none of it does. What motive, besides being a big, bad, scary bad guy, does he have for dominating the surrounding kingdoms? None. The Floor Guardians. Cliche, boring, kind of repetitive copy-paste from other fantasy genres. Don't believe me? Lolly who's sadistic and OP. Yandere who's obsessed with the MC and has no boundaries. Overpowered butler who's completely subservient. Sabos is the only character I liked in the show, so me saying that he's cliche is saying a lot. Introverted tsundere and extroverted clueless oaf twin siblings. Okay, not gonna lie, going on YouTube and listening to the OST, there are some bangers. Like, dude, I don't really notice music in shows because like, I focus more on, like, dialogue and combat. But listening to these, they kind of slap. Nothing else. Music good. Makes my simple monkey neurons go brrr. Animations, it was alright. I mean, the character designs were all unique. I never felt that any of them were, like, stale or boring. It got the job done, especially for a show from 2015. Honestly, I think the animation style and art is subjective, so I don't really want to rate how good it is, just the quality and consistency. And it never really let me down. In fact, I'd say it was quite good during some moments, and the fight scenes usually did have me pumped up. All in all, I think this series leaves a lot to be desired. It's certainly unique and original, but that's not an excuse to be mediocre. When you like a show, you want to be able to like the main character. That's a given. You'd think you'd want the main character to be a stand-up guy who saves the world, so you wouldn't have to feel like garbage empathizing with someone committing genocide or something. I can't see what you would like in this show, besides the fact that it's unique, and it probably has a really specific fan base that I can just not bring myself to sympathize with. Recording this after ranting it on the script, I do feel like my argument that there's no logic at all behind his evil actions may be a little off the mark in some cases, but I still believe the majority of his choices are illogical, and that they're just used to get a reaction from it being unique because it's so evil, done by the main character. The side characters who we're supposed to like and gain attachment to are heartless, and they see humans as insects and livestock to be murdered and experimented with, despite being created by human masters. I still think it's a cool concept, and I don't think the concept of having an evil protagonist would never work. But I just think that the way that Overlord executed it, it doesn't work as much as I hoped it would. A good villain is someone who you can sympathize with, and see logic in their madness. A perfect but overused example would be Thanos. Is Thanos really a villain, or just a misguided hero with good intentions and lacking morals? With Ainz and the rest of the cast, you can't make that argument. They never do anything unless it benefits them. I want to compare Ainz to Anton from No Country for Old Men. Anton was an undeniably cool character, and I enjoyed his time on screen. But do I like Anton? No. I don't think that Anton being a well-written, enjoyable-to-watch character excuses in the slightest how bad of a person he is in the movie. In fact, Anton is the only reason I remember No Country, and I didn't like the movie, because I found the story to be anticlimactic. But Anton is the most memorable part. I feel the same way about Ainz. He's a cool character, and he's memorable, but I don't like him in the slightest. I just don't think that making a character a merciless killer for the sake of it creates the possibility of them being a likable character. Going back to our Thanos example, he at least wanted to save every other species from going through what his had to. And another example is Itachi wanting to save Sasuke. Was there another better way? Most likely. But does that make what they did completely illogical? No, not at all. I just think that a villain protagonist whose actions have no basis in logic can never be likable. Because good-willed moments will feel forced, and evil moments will just be mindless actions committed for the sake of them being evil. Anyways, that's gonna about wrap it up. This is all just in my opinion, me being a peanut-brained high schooler and all. So you should take everything I say with a grain of salt, because I am undeniably stupid. Comment down any counter-arguments you have, and if you make a genuinely good argument, you can probably even change my opinion. How nice it would be to put me in my place. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a moderately enjoyable day. Peace out, losers.